Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to part 2 of the Dark Knights of Steel Batman armor build. In today's video, we're going to be covering the belt and the skirt thing. And here's the belt. Now obviously I did not make this belt, it's off Amazon. I'll be going more in depth over the belt near the end of the video. Also gonna try to leave links below to that belt and the base belt that I've used for this. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so here I've got my fabric laid out. This was a 2-yard pre-cut, I think cotton type fabric, whatever, from Walmart, just in a dark gray. I like the texture of it, so that's why I chose this one. And this belt that I'm using is off of Amazon. It was like $9. It's just like a base belt that you would use for like a tool belt. So just the belt only. It's got adjustable clips here. You can't really see it in the camera view, but I've got it set up how I want it pre-adjusted to the length that I need it. And then what I'm doing is I'm gonna fold over this fabric over the belt, and then I'm actually gonna be sewing this down after I get the thing all cut to shape and everything. So from this point, I want it to be about 18 inches down. So I'm going to put that up, put the yardstick right here. And my 18-inch mark is actually right here at this crease. So that will be good enough for that. And I'm just going to, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of extra. I'm gonna cut on the bottom of it. And I'm not going to try to make the cut super neat or try to keep it in a super straight line, just because of the fact I want it to look kind of worn and weathered. So like that. And now I'm actually going to pull this down just a little bit. And then since I really only need, so you can actually see, since I only need like the buckles exposed, I'm gonna pull out this one end like that. I'm gonna come down here and actually these go at an angle. So this actually will not work. I need to do it like that, fold this back over. Okay, so I've got this belt a little more centered than what it was. So I'll have it folded over. And I don't want this to wrap around and completely cover the entire front, because in the reference photos, it actually kind of comes down and opens up more to the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the initial cut right there, because that's where the buckle is. I'm gonna do that on both sides. So now I have my points right here. I take the belt out. I'm gonna fold this back over on those cuts. And now I'm gonna fold it again, keeping my fabric folded. I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna line up my cuts. And everything all mostly even. this is my top. I'm gonna go and spin around just to make it easier to cut and show you guys. Okay. So I got my pre-existing cuts that I've lined up. I'm gonna keep those straight for there because that's where the belt's gonna feed through, so that needs to be straight. I'm gonna continue it straight just a little bit further, just so that way I have that extra for seam allowance when I sew. And at this point, I'm gonna start cutting at an angle, making sure to get both layers of fabric. And I'm gonna sweep it down, kind of give it just a slight shape. You can cut it whatever shape you want, so long as it kind of comes up and just is open. And the front. So now you have basically this shape. So this right here being the back, and in the reference pictures, it's actually split up the back. See, it's not split all the way at the back. Let's say it's probably right about there, which is what I'm going to cut. Again, these are all just kind of like approximate measurements just to fit me. So like if you guys do this, you'll have to measure these parts out yourself. I mean, there's not going to be any templates for this because everybody's size is different. So you'll want to measure and make these all fit you personally. And now I can do that. And I went ahead and put my belt in there. And here you can see that it all folds over nicely and both buckles are open so that I can easily put it together. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pins and I'm going to pin all of this together. And I'll be taking it to my sewing machine and getting it all stitched together. Okay, so here I've got it all pinned up, and what I actually have done is I've got enough room here that I can slide the belt in and out, just so that way I'm not restricted to only using that belt specifically for this. So it doesn't just be stuck with this. I can use it for other things as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this line sewn real quick and then we'll be right back. I've got the belt sewn, got it ran through, I went to try it on, and it was actually a little too, it didn't cover as much as I wanted in the front. So I'm actually taking some of these scrap pieces that I have from the cutoffs, and I'm going to add on to the front. And so to do that, I am making sure that my top here is actually lined up with the top of this belt, making sure that the right sides are together, which both of these, it's the same on both sides. So that part, it doesn't really matter. I just want them to face the same way. And there's actually, you know, that curve over here. The corresponding curve is here. So I am just gonna pin this all together and then sew it and do the same thing for the other side. All right, and here you can see the full belt and skirt thing all together. Now this leather belt I got off of Amazon. It's got a couple of pouches on either side. And then this part right here will be covered by the armor anyway, so I'm not worried about a buckle or anything. But you can see here on the where I added with this seam, this is where it originally was cut off at. And you can see it's just too open in the front. So I added these pieces to add a little bit more length to it as well, and kind of covers up the legs, and it still comes in at that right angle. Let's see, the leather belt just covers up this right here, and it just has the quick release. And the reason why I had these pieces go up to the same height is that so whenever it buckles, those are right there, and this buckle just holds it in place. So yeah, that is it. All right, I guess I will go over a little more in depth with this belt. I will also try to leave links below to this tool belt, as well as this leather belt from Amazon. It is adjustable on the back and the front. Now I wear a size 33 waist pant, and I have to have it pretty much all the way extended. Of course, I am wearing, I was wearing a belt plus this, and it was all the way to the very last notch on that. So it does run somewhat small, but there's a zipper here on the inside on both pouches. Then you've also got these, and actually you can, I guess, tighten those, but they just snap right there and right there. And you've got another pouch right here, one a little more easily accessible. Again, that's the same on both sides. I mean, honestly, for the price point on it, it's really not bad. Like, it's pretty decent quality. So, I mean, I think it'd be worth it. It really gives it the feel of the Dark Knights of Steel. So, I mean, you can do this, or you could also just like make one out of EVA foam, which is, you know, the cheaper option to go with. But again, this one goes with it, and it was easy, and at times I tend to be somewhat lazy on my own shoots. Well, all right, guys, that does it for this video. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was a huge help to you. And if you're in the same armor that I am, feel free to tag me in social media, Facebook and Instagram. I will also have templates to all of the armor pieces in my Etsy shop. Now, there are no templates to this because this, like I've said before, is kind of a custom made to fit you type thing, so it's kind of hard to template this. But it's fairly simple to do, kind of, now you know how to do it. But anyway, thanks again for watching, guys, and always remember, there are no mistakes in cosplay, only battle damage. See you guys later.